Night falls over the Pacific. 127 warships converge in total darkness. $2.3 trillion in assets hangs in the balance. What happens in the next 8 hours will determine the fate of Taiwan and reshape global power forever. August 15th, 2025, 8:47 p.m. Taiwan Standard Time. The sun disappeared 23 minutes ago. The South China Sea transforms into a black void. No moonlight, cloud cover at 87%. Visibility drops to 400 meters. This is exactly what Beijing planned for. Darkness is China's advantage, or so they think. The daytime battle left wreckage across 340 miles of ocean. 19 Chinese ships sunk. American carriers damaged but operational. Both sides regrouped. Both sides reinforced. Now the real fight begins. Night combat, where thermal sensors matter more than eyes. Where infrared signatures mean life or death. Where submarines rule the depths. At 8:52 p.m., 63 Chinese warships form up 180 miles west of Taiwan. Not the invasion fleet from this morning. This is the Night Strike Force, Type 055 destroyers equipped with advanced radar. Type 054A frigates with surface search systems. And 8 Type 093 attack submarines prowling beneath them. Beijing's plan is simple. Use darkness to get within 80 miles of American carriers. Launch everything. Overwhelm defenses with sheer volume. What's more dangerous at night? Type A for surface ships. Type B for submarines. Chinese admirals believe American surveillance gaps at night. Satellite thermal imaging has limits. E-2D Hawkeye radar planes can't see everything. The planned fleet maintains strict radio silence. Ships move at 18 knots. Engines run quiet. No active radar emissions. They're trying to be ghosts. But the US Navy owns the night, has since World War II. The technology gap isn't just significant, it's overwhelming. Every American destroyer carries SPY-6 radar. Detection range, 450 miles. Track 1,000 targets simultaneously. The system sees through darkness like it's noon. USS Arleigh Burke leads a picket line of 7 destroyers, 240 miles west of the Carrier Strike Group. Each ship is a sensor node. Each feeds data to the others. They create an interlocking web of detection. Nothing crosses this line unseen. At 9:14 p.m., the SPY-6 radar on USS John Finn detects the Chinese formation. 197 miles out, 63 contacts, speed 18 knots, course 095. The computer calculates intercept time, 4 hours, 22 minutes. Combat information centers across the fleet light up. The Chinese think they're invisible. They're not. Admiral Carter commands from USS Gerald Ford, 340 miles east. She's been waiting for this. Nighttime is when American technology dominates completely. She orders Phase 1, silent stalking. Track them. Don't reveal we see them. Let them come closer. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, a different war unfolds. 8 Chinese Type 093 submarines run deep, 450 feet below the surface. They use passive sonar only, listening for American ships, hunting for carriers. Each sub carries 18 YJ-18 anti-ship missiles. Launch range, 290 miles. One successful attack could cripple a carrier. But they're being hunted too. 4 Virginia-class attack subs shadow the Chinese formation: USS Hawaii, USS Missouri, USS Oklahoma, USS Oregon. They've been tracking these submarines since sunset. Passive sonar picked up propeller cavitation. Computer analysis identified each submarine by its unique acoustic signature. The Chinese subs think they're predators, they're prey. At 9:47 p.m., USS Missouri closes to firing position, 12,000 yards behind a Type 093. The Chinese submarine is completely unaware. American sonar operators hear everything. The target's reactor coolant pumps. Crew movement inside the hull, even the gurgle of their coffee maker. Commander Phillips gives the order, Fire Tube 1. A single Mk-48 ADCAP torpedo launches. Wire-guided, 650 pounds of high explosive. Speed, 55 knots. The weapon runs silent for 8 minutes, then goes active. The Chinese submarine detects it at 1,200 yards. Too late. The crew tries emergency maneuvers, diving, turning hard, launching countermeasures. None of it works. The Mk-48 sonar is too sophisticated. At 9:56 p.m., the torpedo detonates beneath the submarine's keel. The shaped charge punches a 12-foot hole in the pressure hull. 200 tons of submarine implodes. 110 sailors die in seconds. The wreckage sinks to 2,400 feet. 3 more Chinese submarines die the same way within 40 minutes. Silent kills. No warning, no survivors. By 10:37 p.m., China's submarine advantage evaporates. 4 boats down, 4 still operational, but now hunted. They run deep, they go quiet, they pray the Americans lose contact. What would you do as a submarine captain, knowing you're being tracked but can't locate the enemy? Comment your strategy below. On the surface, the Chinese fleet presses forward, still maintaining radio silence, still believing they're undetected. At 10:52 p.m., they cross the 120-mile line from Taiwan. American rules of engagement are clear. Any hostile force within 100 miles is a valid target. Admiral Carter authorizes the strike. Phase 2 begins. The destroyers on the picket line execute a coordinated launch. 147 SM-6 missiles fire within 90 seconds. These aren't interceptors anymore. Tonight, they're surface attack weapons. Each missile carries a 140-pound blast fragmentation warhead. Speed, Mach 3.5. Range, 250 miles. The SM-6 streak through the darkness at 62,000 feet. Then dive. Their active radar seekers acquire targets at 40 miles. The missiles don't spread randomly. They prioritize. Command ships first, then destroyers, then frigates. AI algorithms select targets based on radar cross-section and electromagnetic emissions. Chinese crews detect the missiles at 11:03 p.m., 90 seconds from impact. Air raid warnings shriek. HHQ-10 point defense systems activate. But 147 missiles against 63 ships is an impossible problem. The math doesn't work. The first SM-6 strikes Type 055 destroyer Dalian at 11:04 p.m. The warhead detonates against the ship's bridge. The blast kills 23 officers, including the task force commander. The ship loses all command capability. 3 more missiles hit Dalian within 15 seconds. The destroyer goes dead in the water. Fires rage across the superstructure. Across the Chinese formation, missiles find targets. Type 054A frigates take direct hits. Some sink immediately, others burn and list. The coordinated strike lasts 4 minutes. When it ends, 31 Chinese ships are hit. 12 are sinking. 19 more are damaged and unable to fight effectively. Beijing watches in real time via satellite. Their night strike force is shattered. Again. American technology dominated. Again. At 11:17 p.m., Chinese military command makes a desperate decision. If conventional forces can't penetrate American defenses, use unconventional tactics. At 11:23 p.m., 840 small craft launch from Chinese ports. Not warships, fishing boats, commercial vessels, speedboats. Each carries 4 to 6 naval infantry soldiers. Each is equipped with anti-ship missiles. Small, hard to track, dispersed across hundreds of miles. This is swarm warfare. The idea is simple. Overwhelm American sensors with thousands of small targets. Some will get through. If you're still with us, hit that subscribe button. What comes next is some of the most intense naval combat ever recorded. American radar operators see them coming at 11:34 p.m. Not 63 targets, 840 targets, moving at 30 to 40 knots, scattered across a 200-mile front. This is a new problem. SM-6 missiles cost $4.3 million each. You don't use them on fishing boats. But these aren't just fishing boats. They're carrying C-802 missiles. Each boat is a potential threat. Admiral Carter adapts. She orders the destroyers forward, use the 5-inch guns. 76 rounds per minute, $3,000 per shell instead of $4.3 million per missile. 7 destroyers form a firing line. Computer-controlled naval guns engage at 12 miles. At 11:52 p.m., USS Michael Murphy opens fire. The 5-inch gun roars. Shells arc through darkness, radar-guided. Each round is a precision strike. The first fishing boat explodes, then another, then 5 more. The destroyers work methodically. Target, fire, target, fire. The rate is relentless. But 840 boats is too many. Some break through the firing line. At 12:14 a.m., 47 boats reach launch range. 80 miles from the carrier group, they fire. 188 C-802 missiles leap from improvised launchers. Sea-skimming cruise missiles. Speed, Mach 0.9. Flight time, 6 minutes. The carrier group's inner defense activates. C-RAM systems engage. Each launcher fires 11 missiles. Rolling airframe missiles streak toward incoming threats. Infrared seekers lock onto missile exhaust plumes. 112 C-802s are destroyed in the first wave of interception. 76 missiles keep coming. Phalanx CIWS systems activate. 20mm Gatling guns create walls of tungsten. 4,500 rounds per minute. The tracers light up the night like laser shows. 58 more missiles are shredded. 18 get through to the final layer. SM-2 missiles fire from the carriers themselves. Last-ditch defense. 14 intercepts. 4 C-802s survive everything. They're 2 miles from USS Abraham Lincoln when the final Phalanx guns engage. 3 missiles disintegrate. 1 gets through. The C-802 strikes Abraham Lincoln at 12:21 a.m. 363 pounds of high explosive detonates against the carrier's starboard hull. The warhead punches through the armor belt. The explosion tears a 15-foot hole. 12 sailors die. 34 are wounded. But the carrier remains operational. Damage control teams seal the breach. Flight operations continue. This is the moment Beijing hoped would change everything. A carrier hit, damaged. But it doesn't change the battle. 1 missile versus thousands of tons of steel. The carrier keeps fighting. Was this a tactical victory for China or proof their strategy failed? Drop your thoughts below. At 12:33 a.m., American B-2 Spirit stealth bombers arrive. They've been flying from Missouri for 14 hours. Refueled 3 times midair. Now, they're 300 miles from Chinese coastline. Altitude, 48,000 feet. Invisible to radar. Each bomber carries 16 GBU-57 bunker busters and 24 JDAM-guided bombs. The targets are specific. Chinese command centers, communication hubs, missile storage facilities. The buildings are hardened, designed to survive conventional strikes, but 30,000-pound bunker busters aren't conventional weapons. At 12:47 a.m., the first GBU-57 drops. It falls for 42 seconds, then penetrates 200 feet of reinforced concrete before detonating. The underground command center in Fuzhou collapses. 143 officers die. Regional military coordination ceases. 8 more command centers are hit within 30 minutes. China's ability to coordinate night operations disintegrates. Orders stop flowing. Units operate independently. Confusion spreads. Meanwhile, Ohio-class submarines launch their second strike of the night. 462 Tomahawk missiles fire from 4 boats. The targets are radar installations along China's coast, the eyes that track American ships. At 1:23 a.m., the missiles begin hitting. Over-the-horizon radar stations explode. Coastal surveillance sites are obliterated. By 2:00 a.m., China's radar coverage has gaps spanning hundreds of miles. On the surface, the swarm attack collapses. American destroyers systematically destroy the remaining small craft. By 2:14 a.m., 627 boats are sunk. The survivors turn back. The swarm tactic failed. It cost 2,100 naval infantry their lives. It achieved one missile hit on one carrier. At 2:30 a.m., something unexpected happens. 8 Japanese destroyers cross into the combat zone. Tokyo remained neutral during the day battle, but the missile strikes on Okinawa changed calculations. Japan's self-defense force enters the war on America's side. The Japanese ships carry Type 12 anti-ship missiles, range 200 miles. They position themselves between Taiwan and China, creating another barrier, another layer of defense. Beijing now faces a two-nation coalition. This kind of tactical analysis requires serious research. Give us a thumbs up if you appreciate the detail. At 3:15 a.m., Chinese military command faces reality. The night attack failed worse than the day attack. 43 more ships lost, 4 submarines destroyed, 627 small craft sunk. American carrier hit, but operational. Japanese forces now involved. The situation is deteriorating. But Beijing isn't surrendering. At 3:47 a.m., they launch their final night offensive. Not ships, not planes, cyber attack. Chinese hackers target American naval communication networks. They've been preparing this for years. Zero-day exploits, advanced persistent threats. The goal is to blind the fleet, sever communication between ships. U.S. Cyber Command detects the intrusion within 40 seconds. Automated defenses activate. Firewalls isolate infected systems. Backup communication channels engage. The Chinese malware propagates through 7 systems before being contained. Total disruption time, 4 minutes, 12 seconds. The cyber attack fails, but it reveals something important. China is running out of conventional options. When navies fail, when missiles fail, when swarm tactics fail, you resort to cyber warfare. It's a sign of desperation. At 4:23 a.m., Admiral Carter orders a tactical pause. The carrier group has been fighting for 20 hours straight. Crews are exhausted. Ammunition is depleted. The destroyers have fired 847 missiles. The carriers launched 320 sorties. Submarines expended 72 torpedoes. Everything needs resupply. American supply ships steam toward the fleet. Ammunition ships, fuel tankers, repair vessels. The logistics train that enables sustained combat. China has no equivalent. Their supply system relies on coastal bases. Those bases are under Tomahawk bombardment. By 5 a.m., the night battle ends. Not with a treaty, with exhaustion. Both sides pull back. Chinese survivors retreat to ports. American forces establish patrol lines. The killing pauses. For now. The damage assessment is brutal. China lost 43 warships during the night, 4 submarines, 627 small craft, 3,247 sailors dead, 1,820 wounded, 8 command centers destroyed, coastal radar network crippled. America lost 0 ships, 1 carrier damaged, 47 sailors dead, 91 wounded. Ammunition expenditure, $12 billion, but the fleet remains combat effective. The economic impact continues. Asian stock markets open in chaos. Shanghai Stock Exchange drops 18% before trading halts. Hong Kong falls 23%. Seoul down 15%. Tokyo down 9%. $1.4 trillion in value evaporates in the first hour of trading. Shipping companies reroute everything. No vessels enter the South China Sea. Insurance rates spike 340%. Container ships backed up in Singapore. Supply chains break across industries. Automotive plants shut down. Electronics manufacturing stops. This is modern warfare's reality. Ships sink. Markets crash. Supply chains collapse. Everything connects. Everything fails together. At 6:12 a.m., the sun rises over the Pacific. The night is over. Wreckage floats across 400 miles of ocean. Oil slicks spread. Survivors cling to debris. Rescue operations begin on both sides. Taiwan remains free. The invasion failed. Again. Twice in 24 hours, Chinese forces attempted to cross the strait. Twice, they were devastated. The question now is whether Beijing tries a third time or accepts reality. The lessons from the first night are clear. Modern sensors see through darkness. Stealth is nearly impossible. Small craft swarm tactics fail against coordinated defenses. Cyber attacks can't compensate for conventional defeat. And American technology dominance isn't just about daytime combat, it's 24/7. For China's military, this is a catastrophic revelation. Everything they planned, everything they trained for, all their assumptions about American vulnerabilities at night. Wrong. Completely wrong. For America's Navy, the night proved something different. That layered defense works. That sensor fusion creates overwhelming advantage. That training matters as much as technology. That logistics wins wars. The world watches and recalculates. Russia sees China humiliated. India sees opportunities. Australia commits forces. The coalition grows. Beijing's isolation deepens. Freedom remains defended. Not just by carriers and missiles, by sailors who stayed at their posts for 20 hours straight. By sonar operators who tracked targets through darkness. By commanders who made perfect decisions under impossible pressure. To those who thought America's military advantage was exaggerated, the first night of combat answered that question. Decisively. What surprised you most about these night tactics? The submarine warfare, the swarm attack, or the cyber component? Your insights matter to us. Was America's response proportional or excessive? Should the fight have ended sooner? Share your analysis in the comments. This deep dive took hours to research and days to script. If you value this level of tactical detail, like this video and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our military analysis. Share this with anyone who needs to understand modern naval warfare. The first night ended, but the war continues. Tomorrow brings new challenges, new tactics, new desperation, and we'll be here to break down every moment.